afternoon. Philippine inflation settled at 2.9% in January 2025, unchanged from December 2024, according to the Philippine Statistics Authority. Based on data from the PSA, while the country's headline inflation rate in January 2025 stayed the same as in December 2024, it is slightly faster than the 2.8% posted in January 2024. Still, the latest reading settled within the 2.5 to 3.5% forecast range of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas for January 2025. At a press conference on Wednesday, February 5, National Statistician Dennis Mapa says higher prices of food items like tomatoes, pork, and galunggong contributed to the price gains last month. Costlier rent, water bills, and LPG were also a source of upward price pressures. But rice, a major food staple, posted a price growth of negative 2.3%, cushioning the faster inflation in other commodities. Notably, it is the first time since December 2021 that prices of the staple grain contracted. An independent news group says they uncovered a network of X accounts with Chinese names that have been spreading fake news and fueling discord among Filipinos, especially when members of the Duterte family are being criticized. During a House of Representatives Tri-Committee hearing on Tuesday, February 4, Press1.ph multimedia editor Niceforo Balbedina reveals that they discovered 107 accounts that were originally from Spanish-speaking nations but were converted to display Chinese names.
Meron po kaming na-identify na 107 accounts as of 11 a.m. this morning na nagpapakalat ho ng mga anti-Philippine sentiment on Twitter. Yung mga accounts po na to, yung iba sa kanila, Chinese ang pangalan. Karamihan sa kanila, sabay-sabay ginawa at yung mga posting activity po nila ay very questionable.
According to the group's report, posts from these accounts centered on the West Philippine Sea dispute and ridicule of Philippine Coast Guard officials. Posts from these accounts also debunked accusations against President Bongbong Marcos and contained news reports of Vice President Sara Duterte criticizing the government. Balbedina says the accounts followed Media Unlocked of China Daily, a Chinese news outlet that their group flagged for using artificial intelligence to spread misinformation. Balbedina further says that some of the accounts have shared stories published in Chinese and content pertaining to Duterte's criticisms against the current administration. The group also observed that the tweets are repetitive, surfacing when the House Quad Committee was tackling the past administration's drug war, which involved the members of the Duterte family, particularly former President Rodrigo Duterte.
So lumabas yung tweets nila nung na-implicate yung ilang family members ng Duterte family sa isang drug case. Tapos lumabas ulit ng sabay-sabay yung tweets nung na-implicate naman yung DepEd and OVP sa funds, yung usage of funds sa isang hearing din po.
Philippine Coast Guard spokesperson for the West Philippine Sea, Commodore J. Tarriela, slams Sagip Party List Representative Rodante Marcoleta's remarks on the West Philippine Sea being just a creation. In a social media post on Tuesday, February 4, Tarriela says that to claim the West Philippine Sea is merely a fabrication of our government is a disservice and embarrassment to Marcoleta's party, organization, and even his family. During a House Tri-Committee hearing on the prevalence of fake news on Tuesday, Marcoleta claims there is no such thing as the West Philippine Sea.
Sinong agency ng government ang nag-empower sa ating mga kababayan para malaman nilang complications ng West Philippine Sea? Isipin po natin, sir, there is nothing as West Philippine Sea. Wala po yun. That is a creation by us. Sa totoo lang po, kahit nabasahin mo yung ating mapa or what, there is no West Philippine Sea.
According to the lawmaker, he believes the complications regarding the West Philippine Sea issue are not explained to the people, citing other claimants to the South China Sea.
The complications of the West Philippine Sea has not been explained to our people. Kaya po, nagiging vulnerable tayong lahat eh. Ang sinasabi nila, inoccupy daw ng China ang ating territory. We are all claimants dito po sa panig ng South China Sea. Several of us, Philippines, China, Vietnam.
In response to Marcoleta's remarks, Tarriela on his social media account echoes President Bongbong Marcos' statement that the West Philippine Sea is not just a figment of our imagination. The PCG official then questions how Marcoleta could say such remarks as if he were giving up the fight to assert Filipinos' rights in the West Philippine Sea. In 2012, then President Noynoy Aquino signed an administrative order renaming South China Sea waters within the western section of our country's exclusive economic zone as the West Philippine Sea. Contrary to Marcoleta's claims that the West Philippine Sea is not on our country's maps, Aquino also directed the National Mapping and Resource Information Authority to produce and publish charts and maps of the Philippines showing the West Philippine Sea. It was also during Aquino's term when the Philippines brought China before the Permanent Court of Arbitration in The Hague, Netherlands, to contest Beijing's sweeping claims over the South China Sea. In July 2016, an international tribunal ruled heavily in favor of Manila while effectively invalidating Beijing's then 9-line claim, now the 10-line. U.S. President Donald Trump makes an extraordinary proposal for his country to take over the Gaza Strip as he hosts Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu for crucial talks on the truce with Hamas. In a joint press conference with Netanyahu, Trump says the U.S. will take control of war-torn Gaza by creating an economic development there.
The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it too. We'll own it and be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site, level the site and get rid of the destroyed buildings, level it out, create an economic development that will supply unlimited numbers of jobs and housing for the people of the area.
Trump also doubles down on his call for Palestinians to move out of the war-battered territory to Middle Eastern countries like Egypt and Jordan, despite the Palestinians in both nations flatly rejecting his suggestion. He says Gaza's 2 million inhabitants should instead go to other countries of interest with humanitarian hearts. Netanyahu hails Trump as the greatest friend Israel has ever had. He says the U.S. president's Gaza plan could change history and was worth paying attention to. Meanwhile, Palestinian envoy to the United Nations Riyad Mansour says world leaders should respect the wishes of Palestinians.
But in the meantime, our homeland is our homeland. If part of it is destroyed, the Gaza Strip, the Palestinian people selected the choice to return to it. In 2 days, in a span of few hours, 400,000 Palestinians walking returned to the northern part of the Gaza Strip. I think that we should be respecting the selections and the wishes of the Palestinian people.
Today, I'm Neil Mercado. Follow INQUIRER.net on Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. For more stories, visit INQUIRER.net. Good afternoon.